Hello, and good morning, and welcome to this coffee edition of. I know I initially said that I was going to call it Don't Call It a Comeback, but I'm off that. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not fond of it. It's not original. It's not Adam. It's not me. It's not AJ Marsh. It can't happen. It can't be done. I'm not doing it. End of story. Full stop. Don't know what it's going to be called yet. Still working on that. I'm not going to put this out for a while, so it doesn't matter. I have time to think about it. But this is the coffee edition. I'm doing this in the morning about my mom's house. 3 weeks away from a vacation in Phoenix and then moving. When I say moving, that doesn't mean much. Moving to me is not moving to you. Moving just means I'm going somewhere for more than a week. Moving, I mean, it's probably going to be for at least for 4 months. Moving to Columbus, but we'll see. Columbus, Ohio, go Bucks, go Buckeyes. Got a lot of big recruits coming in. Hopefully, we're rubbing shoulders on campus. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to see my classmates and hopefully they can bring us a national championship. You know, it's going to be fun to contend and to hopefully encourage those boys when I see them on campus. Hey, go Bucks! Nice catch last weekend. So what are we covering this morning in the coffee edition? I got to use I will have a better mug. I'll get a better mug. If I'm going to do coffee editions, I'll get a better mug. For those of you watching, I'll get a better mug. This is a very basic mug. I have better mugs. I wasn't thinking about it when I made my coffee this morning. When I poured it, I wasn't thinking about how is this going to look on camera. Now I'm unhappy. So what are we covering? We are covering, first of all, covering Giannis Antetokounmpo and him coming to the Bucks for the next 4 years plus one more year after a potential opt out, which I'm sure that'll happen, but that doesn't mean that he's going anywhere. Just special stuff. Giannis is a special character, and not just a special player. Just an amazing man. He was just I mean, well, I'm not going to bring anything new or exciting to the narrative of Giannis re-signing with the Bucks, okay? But there's just a few things that need to be said. One, the story about him sending all his money back to Greece when he was a rookie and not having cab fare and getting picked up by some fans on the side of the road, sprinting to the stadium. That really encapsulates the Giannis story to me. That's Giannis. He's just, he's not like the others. And then let's see if I can find it here. There is I just saw this on Twitter, just a few of his old teammates saying some things. It's just a little clipping. I don't know when it's from, but Zaza Pachulia recalls the first time Giannis got his check. He saw half of his money was going to taxes. He asked me, is there any way he doesn't pay taxes? Brandon Knight remembers Giannis carrying free food home from the players' lounge. You'd see him with like 6 or 7 boxes trying to save money. Cakes, drinks, all types of stuff. Caron Butler remembers tossing out a pair of sneakers only to have Giannis intervene. He pulled the shoes out of the garbage like, what are you doing? These good shoes. Larry Sanders, speaking of footwear, has bought Giannis not 1 but 2 pairs of Gucci shoes. Gucci shoes. Although Giannis says he's saving them for something good. When I'm going to go out, I test them. I wear them a little bit in the house. They're very nice. Very nice. Meanwhile, John Henson mostly can't believe that Giannis has never sampled Chipotle. So that's just one, it's just the greatest, it's just perhaps the greatest day in Milwaukee history. It will be the second greatest day to when we flip over the hop after the Bucks win the NBA championship. And we toss the hop into Lake Michigan after we flip it. It's just awesome that he's staying and that life is good in Milwaukee, even though I'll be in Columbus during this year. But who knows if they'll even have fans in the stands. So we'll see. That's our top story. Top story here at the yet to be named podcast. Um, Next, let's see if I can find this. It is vaccine and COVID related. Although I don't want to be a quack nut on this podcast, but you're going to get what you're going to get. That's just. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay, here we go. Some dude from MSNBC. No. Not going to work. Okay, bad radio. This is why you prepare. Not good. Oh, it's going through the soundboard. So if I unplug that, you won't be able to hear it. We have some logistical things to work out. Basically what they're saying is, okay, so here's what it reads. Just because you get vaccinated after the second dose does not mean you should be traveling or that you're liberated from masks. I'm not a medical doctor. I know that might be hard for some people to believe, given my intense wit and seemingly unlimited intelligence. But I'm not. All right? Vin Gupta probably knows a lot more than me about medicine, most likely. Can't say for sure, but I'm going to say most likely that Vin Gupta is smarter when it comes to medicine than me. But here's what I'm struggling with here. We have I don't follow the numbers, and I'm not like preaching about COVID all the time. But from what I can see, I don't know what the mortality rate is. I see anywhere between, I see the survival rate being anywhere between like 97 and like 99% or something like that, or 97.5%. I don't know. I don't follow it. It's a high number. Still should be taken seriously. Not the point. That's the thing. People, is that we need, you got like, that's not the point, okay? So let's get to the point. The point is, now we're going to introduce a vaccine that is 94.5%, 95% effective. And they're still, and people are still saying, oh, well, no, that, once you get this vaccine and there's a virus that has a 97.5% survival rate, and then you have something that protects you 95% of the time, but we're still not good to go. Someone help me. Sometimes there's explanations for these things. Sometimes now there could be an explanation that's just like completely ridiculous, in which case I'm still not going to accept that explanation. But sometimes there are explanations, like you see things online and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. But once you hear an explanation from someone who sees it a little different than you, you're like, oh, that actually does make sense. That makes sense to me. I'm okay with that. That sounds good. Never mind, I'm sorry. You don't even have to say you're sorry. Oh, I learned something. I changed my view. We're open to changing our view. Me and you and me. Because we're smart, enlightened people. That's why you're watching me, and that's why you're listening to me. Because you're sharp. You're open to changing your view when the facts are presented to you that then dictate that you change your view. And sometimes you hear an alternate view and you're still like, no, and here's why I see it this way. And that's fine. That's discourse. That's how we work. So I'm a little hung up on that. Just like, it's just been the whole thing. You remember Flatten the Curve? Does anyone remember Flatten the Curve? We gotta flatten the curve. That's what it was in the beginning. Was we gotta flatten the curve. I remember those days, and I was just like, a couple weeks, we're gonna be out of here. Couple weeks, beating down COVID. I honestly thought their best move was to say, we'll put the NCAA tournament back on if you guys beat this thing. That would have been my move if I were the president. I'm not One, I'm not old enough, so I didn't really have a chance. If I were 35, who knows where we are today. Um, but that would have been my move. My move would have been, if you guys beat this and you guys talk about it amongst yourselves. How do you want to beat this? You beat COVID, we put on the NCAA tournament. Who loses? Who loses that? I don't know. That's what I would have done. But yeah. So clearly, Trump didn't think of that, but at least put me in the cabinet. Something to get ideas like this out there. So it was flatten the curve, and the whole thing was, it's not going to change how many people get it. It'll change how many people get it at once. It's not going to change how many people get it, but then it was like, I mean, everything just and it's a bad disease. It's a terrible disease, virus. It's bad. It's bad. I'm not one of those people that's like, it's fake. It's not that bad. Blah 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 blah. It has not personally affected my life in any way. So I mean, like that's part of my detachment from it. But even still, it's such a complicated and nuanced discussion, as just about everything is. I would need, that would be one of those things where I would need a couple different people giving me a couple different opinions who are smarter than me. As I've said, I'm fake smart. I like to sound smart, but I'm not smart. I really don't know anything. I'm a big dumb idiot. I'm an idiot, and I've tweeted that before. I call myself an idiot every single day, and I do. I wish I didn't. I don't think that is healthy. You shouldn't call yourself an idiot. I'm big on, like, well, I used to be bigger, but I'm still kind of big on, like, the way you talk to yourself, the way you view yourself. That is who you are. That is what you'll become. Manifestation, law of attraction. I don't really use any of that stuff, but I do believe that there's something to it. Like, I truly believe that the person you believe you are, you will become, as long as because then you'll take the actions that person would take. Whatever. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about right now, but COVID bad, but please, just because you're getting vaccinated doesn't mean you can start traveling or stop wearing masks. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Unless there's something actually to it. Unless. But in my opinion, right now, until proven otherwise, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Former fashion executive Peter Nygaard. We have a pedo alert. I'll put it in post. Put a little siren maybe. Most likely will not do that. If I do, I'll put it in right here. Pedo alert. Pedo alert. And if I didn't, then there was just a pause, and that's fine. Former fashion icon, or former fashion executive Peter Nygaard, don't know if I'm saying that right, arrested in Canada on sex trafficking charges. I think he had an island. I mean, this is becoming. Is there a pattern here? I'm seeing a pattern. And then some of the same people who went to Epstein's Island were hanging out with this dude, and it's just like, okay, Prince Andrew. Is that his name? Prince Andrew? I don't know. He was one of the people that was also with this dude. You're a pedo. I mean, if you're watching this, Prince Andrew, you're a pedo. I mean, you're a pedo. You're a pedo. Nygaard's headquarters in Manhattan were raided by authorities earlier in 2020 as part of an investigation into allegations of sexual assault. The former chairman and founder of Nygaard International Partnership is scheduled to appear in a court in Winnipeg, Manitoba on January 13th. So, yeah, the New York Times headline: the fashion mogul Peter Nygaard was arrested on sex trafficking charges involving dozens of women, some of them underage, federal prosecutors say. I just can't wait until everything starts coming to the surface and we can hear about all Bill Clinton trending. I wonder why. Anything. Doesn't look like it's anything connected to this Peter Nygaard feller. I did see the Prince Andrew was connected though. Um, so that's that. That's interesting. I just feel like we're just gonna keep hearing about these things, about how you just get a shit ton of money and you're like, oh, I'll just snag an island and steal kids from poor people or the system, and then I'll pay off the people in the system, and then I will be a pedo and do horrible things and probably won't get caught. I just got finished listening to the Franklin Scandal audiobook, which is a jarring experience. If you're not familiar with the Franklin Scandal, at least just look it up and just get the general idea of it, because it is a wild story. And if you listen or read the whole book, it's just a disillusioning experience to understand. Nobody cares. Like, as far as our government and our intelligence agencies, and they don't care about justice. They don't. I'm generalizing, but you get the picture. And now we just, pedo after pedo after pedo after pedo after pedo after pedo. We just keep finding them. Pedo, 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 pedo. And not good. Not good. At this point, if you have a lot of money, you have to be, on pedo watch. If you have over $500 million in your net worth, pedo watch. This guy was $900 million. It was Peter Nygaard, worth $900 million. I mean, I think that that's fair. If we're gonna say that young black men fit the description of this or that, or that white boys are, they're the school shooters, rich people are the pedos. And there are non-rich people who are pedos, but we don't worry so much about them because they'll get justice. They'll get it, They'll get it. But these rich dudes, I mean, how many got away with it? How many have got away with it? And how many are getting away with it now? Now, granted, something like this happens and they're like, fuck. They're closing in on us. Prince Andrew, what do we do? Prince Andrew doesn't know what to do. He's sweating. But all he has to do is hide away in a palace. Just hide in a palace. How hard is that? I could do it. You hide in a palace, you don't come out, you wait for things to cool down. You pull the David Ortiz when he got caught for steroids back in like 2005 or whatever. And they were just like, David, you got caught for steroids. What up? And he was just like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. And they were just like, okay, cool, we'll move on. Sounds good. No problem here. That's basically what Prince Andrew's doing. Just like, nah, I'm off that. And they're just like, okay, you can be off that. So, yeah, rocking my new Ohio State hoodie. Go Bucks. Morning edition. I kind of like this. I kind of like the morning edition of whatever this is going to be called. It's almost like a news thing with, maybe I'll just talk about the news. Maybe I'll talk about the news. I don't know. Not just the news, though. I want it to be fun. I want it to be light. I could use a little more planning, a little more prep. A little more prep. But this has been good. This has been fun. And I'm starting them short, I'm starting them short because I understand the attention span of people these days, and I'm just not ready to go long yet, I'll get there. I think, and I'll also say this. It's hard. Like, especially with no one else in the room, it's hard to just ramble for, I'm at just around 20 minutes right now, just under 20 minutes. It's hard to ramble for that long and to have without having any pushback or anything to spur on conversation. Just ramble. That's not easy to do. So I'm still learning how to do that and to extend it. All I really need is to just do a little more prep, and hopefully once I release this, I can kind of get a better idea of what people are looking for. And then this is just gonna be fun. I mean, it's just gonna be fun for me. It's just a way for me to not be so lonely. which, caveat, I don't mind. Actually, here's the thing. Okay, hold on. No one likes being lonely. Although I never do consider I mean, that was said in jest, because I never like when I think about all the things that I don't like about my life, being lonely is not one of the things where I'm just like, can't handle it, don't like being lonely. I've been alone basically my entire life. Like, I've always been, for the most part, just been alone. So that's not something that terribly bothers me, although a little, having an I guess just having an outlet like this to just spill and spill and spill, and then hopefully, finding just a group of people, who want to just join in on the conversation and have a chat with me and be a part of this. And that would be, all my friends are online. So that's what I'm shooting for. And that's what we're going to continue to do. Sorry that I'm teetering off in the end here, but I'm trying to make sure that I don't forget anything. But you know what? We'll get them next time. And I have a I have a Word document in front of me, and it title topics, and then underneath Giannis vaccine. All right. Have a good one, everybody.